Hello and welcome to the Sports Babble, the Thursday night show. We've had a few technical difficulties for the past 20 minutes. It's been quite stressful. So stressful I've lost my hair. It just completely fell out there. I was that stressed over the head of it.
You had Nabaldi, what was going on?
I had Nabaldi, what was going on? I'd say when Declan Rice spoke up earlier, he didn't have a baldy what was going on and why he was, again, the centre of attention. We'll dive straight into that if you haven't heard. We're going to chat about a little bit what happened with Declan Rice, a wee bit of a laugh at Scotland, and talk about MLS, some big things happening in the women's game this week, and a bit of real Oviedo chat. But as I said, Johnny, Declan Rice did not have his finest hour today.
He did not. Just came back to haunt them like a lot of people's tweets do in a couple of years' time. What do you see? It's gonna come back and haunt me in a couple of years.
When we're rich and famous, we're knackered.
Yeah, I won't care. All them Spurs tweets were worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. And like Andrew, my best friend, once told Glenn Ferguson to take those effing cheeseburgers out of his socks, you fat F. And that's probably going to come back. He tweeted it to him, and that's probably going to come back and haunt the wee man later life. Okay. So if you haven't seen it yet, Declan Rice in 2015 under an Instagram post had tweeted about one of the Ireland players had scored the winner. I think they were playing Sweden, and he tweeted underneath it, basically brilliant, well done, up the Ra, and then can't wait till we get England, and then a wee like devil emoji. That was obviously when he was playing for the Republic of Ireland. That has since changed. If you haven't been anywhere in the world of football and seen this, he's now playing for England, playing for West Ham as well, and this comes out. That's not a great look for Declan Rice.
Couldn't be any more English. Playing for West Ham and switching from Ireland to play for England. And
then telling everyone how English he is. Sure, listen to my accent, and then this to come out.
He's a twat.
I know as well. What is he? 20 now. So that's 4 years ago. He was 16, coming 17. So he's still a youngster. But
it's so weird. Like even though he was born and raised based in England, for an Englishman to come out and say up the Ra, like what is that about? It's
a strange statement even to come out with. Like and I don't think even the FAI would want their own players saying that either.
No.
Even like if it was a senior international, I don't think anyone would want them saying that, regardless of what you believe. But just for that to come out, it's sort of stink. Remember Andre Gray had said something. He'd said he made a homophobic slur years ago when he was younger, and then he went and scored a winner against Liverpool when he played for Burnley. So the Mad Scousers went tracked and traced a tweet he'd made a homophobic slur about when he was a youngster, and of course he ended up getting, I think he got banned for it and he got fined as well. So yeah, you need to be careful what you tweet out there, folks, or put on the gram, because it can come back and haunt you.
I don't really put on the gram anymore.
No, I don't have it either, or Snapchat. I'm all off it. And then another sort of just to make things worse for people, or about the Scottish fans are all laughing at this thing, and yeah, look at that. So they go to Kazakhstan at 2:30 today, English or British time to play, and they get beat 3-0.
Apparently I only seen bits and pieces of the game, but from what I heard on the radio, they were absolutely shocking.
I didn't see any of it, obviously where everyone was working, but I saw it on Twitter during a break in work, and a colleague of mine had pointed out what the score was, and I could not for the life of me believe what was happening. Kazakhstan are 117th in the world. Scotland up to 40th, and I've had a couple of decent results lately, and I've started to play pretty well. Obviously without their superhero and Andy Robertson, who's got an abscess in his tooth. But to get beat 3-0 away from Kazakhstan is not an ideal start to Euro qualifications.
No, there was some Scottish fans on the radio saying earlier on that their qualifier, their European group's over already, and it's only the first game. I was like, it's a bit early to be saying things like that, but again, I don't know who's in Scotland's group. Do you know?
I can't recall. I don't think it's that difficult. I don't think it's like Northern Ireland have Germany and Holland. And like the Republic have two decent teams that have been at the World Cup, Denmark and Switzerland. That won't be easy. I don't think Scotland have two big-ish teams. They probably do. I've just forgotten. I'm not sure who it is. I can Google it now actually and see who it is, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But that is not an ideal start for them at all. And Alex McLeish is probably under a lot of pressure now, I'd have thought.
Yeah, considering how bad form Scotland were in there over recent years.
They seem to have been turning the corner.
Yeah, and then they turned the corner, and now it seems they went back again. to the crap they were doing before. But then again, that's because obviously, like you said, Andy Robinson wasn't there. So.
Aye, Superman. And also as well, producer Matthew's back tonight. If you can hear the wee sniffles, the big man's dosed with the cold, unfortunately. God love him. But the Big Bear is behind the camera tonight, which is ballsing the whole thing up on us. So we might have a video for you later if you listen to the show. There might also be a YouTube video. We might not. I'm just trying to find this group here, but my laptop's frozen.
Well, England have a group they should qualify from.
As always.
Quite easily. Typical.
Scotland. Oh, Russia and Belgium, actually. I think they're playing now and they're 0-0. No, you wouldn't have thought they would. Russia and Belgium. I wouldn't have given Scotland much hope to come out of that group.
No.
But then isn't there like 300 teams in this Euros or something daft? And you can qualify through the Nations League and it's a bit
They're
weird.
changing bloody everything. It's just terrible now. Football's just going downhill.
Yes, and that is a nice segue into what we're going to talk about next in the MLS, because we were talking this morning about how FIFA wanted to introduce MLS teams and make sure MLS teams are in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
They want to increase it to a summer tournament and have about 16 teams or something silly.
Yeah, they're looking to increase it to 3 times the amount of teams that are in for whatever reason, because to be honest, the Club World Cup's a little shite anyway, so
they're trying to push for this European Super League and then just basically defunct internationals and it's going to be all club.
So like, what if there's a World Cup that year or the European Championships? Like, you'll be having reserve team players playing in this dozy tournament.
Yeah.
That nobody's going to want to play in. Let's be honest, the MLS teams aren't good enough to play in the current tournament. What hope are they going to have?
We're going to talk about the MLS tonight, and that's a good point, because none of an MLS team has still not won the CONCACAF Champions League yet. It's been going, I think, from 1968, but then they've changed it a bit now in the last 10-15 years. They've changed it to a Champions League type format. And even this year there's a new format in which they brought in. Now Sporting Kansas are going quite well in the MLS. They're in the semi-finals. But we had, like last year, Toronto, who'd won the MLS, they got the final, but then they were beat by, I think it was Guadalajara. And the MLS, you can see it now on Sky.
Yeah.
If you have one of your wee streaming boxes, unless you're those 3 lads that got done in today by the Premier League and are facing 17 years in jail. If you have one of those, you'll be able to see every match, which every household, apart from this one, I abide the rules, please. They all
apart from the Dark Prince.
apart from the Dark Prince, yeah. They all you can see every game, and they're on at reasonable times, unlike the other American sports where you're both fans of basketball. It can be on quite late.
Yeah.
The MLS has got like a big kick in repeatedly over a number of years, like, because it's soccer in America and those Americans don't know how to play it, and their football is American football and blah blah blah. But then we started seeing players go into it, and the first one that probably brought such an emphasis on it was when Beckham went to the LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Because then everyone was like, okay, alright, and then all of a sudden you'd see LA Galaxy shirts all over the place. I remember 2 lads in school having them or whatever, and different things.
I had to.
There you are, it might have been you. And then you got other players like Robbie Keane then went to the Galaxy, and you've had now Zlatan Ibrahimovic is there the next start at the Galaxy. You've Wayne Rooney, who at times at Everton looked like he was gone and he was past it. He's gone to MLS. Just this weekend he scored a hat-trick and he assisted one. DC United, his team are absolutely flying. They're top of the Eastern Conference. Haven't conceded yet. Have scored 7 goals and they've 7 points. And it does get a bit of a bad rap as if it's not a great league. But if you watch and you sit down and watch a game, it's actually quite technical.
Yeah.
And there's some very good players playing it. Like,
if you look at like even the likes of Bradley Ray Phillips, the Red Bulls, he's made a great career for himself out there.
Yeah.
I think he's like one of the top goal scorers ever in MLS history.
Yeah.
So like, obviously his dad and his brother done well in the English leagues, but he didn't. Obviously he went and got a career elsewhere. There's nothing really wrong with doing that. And Juan Pablo Angel went out there towards the end of his career, and he was absolutely banging for the Red Bulls too. Like, so
what the league probably, and I'm sure MLS fans that are watching the show, people that know a bit more than us, everyone keeps just saying that what the league needs is like a superstar to go there while he's still in his prime. Which is probably fair enough. But the remaining South American Player of the Year was Pity Martinez at River Plate, who won the Copa America. He signed for Atlanta United, who won the league last year. He went there as their big designated players, is called player this season. Now, he hasn't hit the ground running yet, but he's a brilliant talent. He's in the Argentina squad. He was tipped to even come and play in the bigger and better leagues in Europe, but he chose to go to Atlanta instead. So it's sort of, that is a good sign of progress. And if you look, there's brilliant things on YouTube, MLS The Movement it's called, where it follows different groups of fans every week and gets you to see what it's like in that city. And there are times where you look at it and it's like a bit of a hipster movement, but there's people that really start to care about it now, and they're getting 20, 30,000 at games, 40,000 at Atlanta, selling stadiums out. It's only a matter of time before America cracks football, or as they call it, their soccer. And then I think the rest of the world will be like, oh, right, okay, hang on here. There is something going on.
I think when you see, over here we only see them videos like, I think it's the Seattle fans where the guy's going absolutely berserk.
Seattle!
Yeah, like stupid shit like that. But, you know, I think it was Los Angeles Football Club, the new team. That
LAFC, yeah.
Yeah. I think there was a video that keep going around Twitter recently and it showed them and it was nuts. It was like something like, you know, Borussia Dortmund. Like, it was
yeah.
So, you know, don't base it all off these dozy videos, say, of Detroit fans or whatever the hell you're saying. Like, you know, they're actually alright. They're not the worst.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a couple.
Yeah.
If I ever had the chance to go over there. And LAFC have probably the best player in the league, I think, in Carlos Vela, who went there from Real Sociedad, still in a bit of his prime. Was at Arsenal obviously as a youngster.
Good finisher.
Yeah, very good. And he's really making a name for himself in that league, and he's one of Mexico's best players as well. And that sort of showed. There was a lot of players from the MLS playing on that Mexican team, playing for Costa Rica and Panama, and they all got themselves to the World Cup and put in good performances. So that league definitely is something I think we should all, as football fans, pay more attention to. And this is going to annoy quite a few people, but I'd rather sit there and watch an MLS game than an SPL game.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
Yeah, I could agree with you there, to be honest, yeah, because the SPL is terrible. Like you said, the US fans actually care now about their league. But yeah, like I've always liked the Red Bulls, even before Henry went there, before anyone says I liked them before Henry went. I just like their colours. Suppose it is like Arsenal, except it's kind of the opposite way about it. But it's not a bad league, like you say. You know, there are some decent games, and everybody loves to hate New York City just because they're owned by Man City and just pump so much money into the team. So.
They had David Villa last year, he's been gone now, and they have Mitrovic, I think he's called, this Romanian striker that they signed.
And they had Pirlo as well at the start. So.
They did have Pirlo, and then Frank Lampard was out there too.
Fat Frank was there, Brendan.
He was, definitely. Yeah. Seattle's Sounders are quite a decent team too. They're leading the Western Conference. 9 points, 3 wins from 3. You remember Nicolas Lodiero from Uruguay that played for Ajax years ago?
I can't recall, no.
He's out there, he's like their star man. He's a bit older now, but he's still knocking goals in, like as you would, yeah. And like you were talking about LAFC there, I think it's their third year in the league now. So they're an expansion team, which is basically there's no relegations in MLS, and they're trying to grow it. Inter Miami are starting.
No, that's Beckham's team.
Yeah, next year or the year after they're coming into it, and there's another 2 teams to come in as well. They're trying to grow the league at the minute. There's 26 teams maybe, and they're going to grow it to hopefully going to aim for 28, 30 teams. So it's quite decent. It is getting much better, but that thing from FIFA is a bit strange that they're going to just allow an MLS team or teams to come and play in that without properly being rewarded. And I think a lot of MLS fans, they're all sort of craving. If you listen to their podcast, which I have been listening to, there's one called Extra Time, which is about MLS by MLS, and they're craving for that first Champions League win. It must be quite frustrating that because their players are so well paid, the league's getting so much bigger, it's getting so much popular, it's getting shown worldwide now, and they're still getting done in by Argentinian or Panamanian teams every time they go and play in the Champions League.
Just the thing is, the MLS teams are restricted to, I think it's maybe 3 top earners or something like that. 4
designated players, or 3, that they can pay stupid amounts. So you could pay someone like, plus their transfer fee, say like 30 million, right? And then I could be in the squad and they could pay me 25 grand. That's the difference in it. Like, and it's also as well, the teams aren't separate entities, they're all owned by the MLS, like NFL teams and NBA teams and MLB teams. That's the way they work in American sport. There's a draft as well. It's quite interesting if you look at it, the way it's done. There's part of me when I was reading about it today and seeing that it's owned by the league. I'm obviously not a big fan of the FA. I've said this before. I think they're a bit.
Is anybody a fan?
No, or the Premier League, whatever. You don't know how to trust. But it'd be quite interesting if our teams were all owned by a league to see how it would work there. Like, and you couldn't go out and spend 200 million or whatever. Man City wouldn't be allowed to do that, and everything would be functioned back in.
There will be certain, fan clubs that would want that. Like Man City fans obviously wouldn't, but like Arsenal fans don't like their owner for the obvious reasons. I know at a stage Man United didn't like their owners.
Still don't really.
Still don't know. Maybe I think even Liverpool at a stage they were.
The previous owners, yeah. John Henry got a little bit, but I think now with Kloppo and the way things are going, he seems to be okay.
The way the wages now are going in Europe, maybe something like that. Wage caps and designated players. Like some sort of idea like that might work over in Europe because it's just getting out of hand.
Aye.
And teams can't compete with that, like especially the World League teams. They just go out of business eventually.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. One of the things I sort of think about if Liverpool are to win the league this year is what will the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City do next year in the summer transfer window? Because as well as Liverpool are doing, I don't want to talk about Liverpool too much tonight. We can't compete really, like on a money scale. We just can't. We cannot compete with the Man City, PSG, Manchester United, Real Madrid. We can buy certain players, but we have to sell players for first.
Self-sustainable model. Arsenal are the exact same, but the thing is, the difference between Liverpool and most other clubs is their fan base, their merchandise that they sell around the world. They're massive for that, and that's probably where all their money comes in from. The likes of say Chelsea and Man City, who don't have as big a fan base worldwide as Liverpool and Manchester United would. If these laws really are implemented, like Arsenal have always been self-sustainable. If Chelsea had to be self-sustainable or Man City, they would probably struggle, at least for a couple of years till they get themselves on their feet. And that's probably where the gap could be closed from the top of the table. But it definitely needs to come into play because it's just getting out of hand now. Especially Man City, they're just getting away from it.
We'll probably do a show on that as well, to talk about that deeper at some point, because that is a good topic to talk about, like, and how mad and how much football is losing the run of itself. Yeah,
maybe MLS can be, we can look at that, or English leagues, European leagues can look at that and say, well, there's an idea we can use over here to stop this kind of crap.
But some good news in football this week was so much positivity around the women's game.
Yeah,
we had a world record club attendance between Barcelona and Athletic Madrid of 67,000. You can't even get 67,000 to go watch Liverpool play.
It's crazy.
It is absolutely daft. That is an unbelievable, for any sporting occasion, that is an unbelievable size of our capacity, our crowd. Even that's a regulation game, like that's a normal league game. It's not even a cup game. It's not a semi-final. It's not madness.
Yeah. There's I was reading something Eddie Luco was writing earlier today. Juventus are doing the same thing this weekend. For Juventus ladies are playing Fiorentina at the top of the league. There's a point between them, so that's at the Allianz Stadium, and all the tickets are free. So they're hoping they can fill that stadium out and make it similar to last weekend. And then obviously there was the announcement, was it yesterday, of Barclays are now sponsoring the Women's Super League. So
the first time that the Women's Super League has got a proper main title sponsor, which is unbelievable
really,
news. Like it is, like I was looking like the Women's Super League. I need to watch more of it. Put my hands up it. Don't watch enough of it.
Big game on this Sunday.
Arsenal Chelsea.
Liverpool Arsenal.
Oh.
It's on BT Sport. Arsenal women are going for the league. The 2 games in hand, 3 points behind Man City. They haven't won the league since 2012, so big game for them on Sunday. And they're doing really well this year, to be fair. And they've had a couple of players missing through injury, long-term injuries, like the normal men's team. So, yeah. Hopefully they can push on and do it. And
definitely.
Sicking them Man City ones by. They're not winning either league this year.
And don't get beat by a team in red. But I was looking at it, and I was looking at the fact that there were 67,000 at the Wanda Metropolitano for this game. And then I was looking at the attendances in the Women's Super League in England, and the average attendance are about 1,700. But then you look at where they're playing these games, and they're playing them at like Irish League size grounds and different things, and you think, like that what they've done at in Turin for the Juventus Fiorentina game, free tickets. Yeah. Like if a club just uses their initiative and does that one off, you don't know how many fans you get then coming back because they're going to enjoy it. Yeah. You get younger girls wanting to get involved in it, younger boys watching thinking, but man, I want to go and play for Liverpool here at this stadium. Different thing, you say for Arsenal, if that Arsenal game was at the Emirates, it'd be massive, but they haven't took that initiative to go and do it yet. But yeah, it's brilliant. Like a really unbelievable couple of good days for the women's football, and women's sport in general, because the Telegraph now have a designated ladies or women's sports editor, and they're going to cover more women's sport, which is absolutely fantastic, because we talk about it even offer other different women's sports, and we talk about like Katie Taylor and different things, in Kelly Harrington and the boxing, and it's not covered enough. It's definitely not covered enough, and it's one thing we at the sports level want to do more of. We want to get more involved in it during the summer as well, because the World Cup's coming up. I think that's in June.
Yeah, actually Sky Italia actually announced, was it this week, maybe last week, that they're showing all the games from the Ladies World Cup, and I think BBC are planning to do the same, so that's another big thing for
England have a great chance, like,
yeah.
to be fair. Phil Neville, as much as I don't really like him, is doing a brilliant job with them. But it's a good squad he's inherited too, like, not take it away from him. They are a very good team, the England national team. And you like Tony Duggan's at Atletico Madrid, Luco's at Juventus. Brilliant things for the girls, like, and they play at the Wanda Metropolitano in front of 67,000.
The Scouts that scored against Atletico Madrid last week too for Barcelona.
Tony Duggan.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very positive for ladies football, and even I remember going to watch Northern Ireland play the Republic at Mornview Park in Lurgan. I think it was maybe last year or the year before, and I think it was free in that day as well. But it was great going in to see that there, because like we got to watch like Keegan Cabe and Louise Quinn, who play for Arsenal ladies. So like, you know, for them to be there in Lurgan playing a game was just great, and there was actually a decent turnout for Northern Ireland. Republic of Ireland didn't get that many supporters, but no, what do you expect in Mornview, you know? So, but like, yeah, like that, they need to do more things like that. They need to get it kicked off the ground, like, because like there's a lot of really good players out there that play in the women's game, and they're just, I don't know, men are just kind of like the way they are. They're just stuck in their old ways, and until that's kind of died out and people can appreciate that there are good women's footballer, and the standard of women's football is actually really, really good, you know, we just need to move on.
Yeah,
it's kind of like sectarianism, racism and all that's going on over in England, especially as well, in Scotland, Northern Ireland, you know, you need to move on, get past it, like, just wise up.
I think as well, like, a lot of the women's sports is sort of, men have, like, they're still, I don't know what the right proper word for it is, harnessing isn't the right word, but they put shackles on it, the likes of, like, in the boxing, likes the rounds and stuff, 2-minute rounds or whatever, and I think I'm right in saying that, Producer Matthew's in the 2-minute rounds, he's just laughing.
I think you're, like in tennis, men play the best out of 5, and
the ladies play the
best out of
3.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, like we can move on now, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Serena Williams is one of the greatest athletes of all time. Yeah. You tell me she couldn't play a game of tennis for 5 sets?
She could probably beat most men as well.
They need to move, and in football it doesn't seem to be that. It doesn't seem to those. The rules all seem to be the same. Like, quote me if I'm wrong, like, but even rugby, you would have seen years ago, all these burly men saying they shouldn't have women tackling each other in rugby, which was obviously a complete nonsense. Yeah. And good luck to them now if they should take on the England or Irish rugby team, ladies team, in a game, because they get killed. But you know what I mean? And it's good that we are moving on in society, and that's a really positive, good week. And we'll follow the Ladies World Cup, obviously, with keep a close eye on it and talk about it every week, and we might do videos and all on it as well. And probably do a draw too, like we did for the Men's World Cup. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be good. Definitely. You know, like you were saying, I don't understand why, like this weekend, why Liverpool ladies can't play Arsenal at Anfield. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The men aren't going to be there. Yeah. So like, on occasions like this, I don't understand why they can't play in the big stadiums, but you know, that's not our decision to make. But you know. No, but if it was, we know what we'd be doing. Yeah, well. And I put it, getting to go to Anfield for free. That'd be unbelievable. Like, there's a lot of youngsters there that never been to the Emirates or been to the Allianz Stadium or Anfield or Old Trafford, you know, because their parents just can't afford to bring them. Yeah. So like, there's an opportunity, let them in and friggin' experience it. Class. Good luck to the girls anyway. Liverpool aren't going for the league, and I don't really want Man City to win all the league, so probably will go for Arsenal that one on Sunday. Oh my goodness. It's on BT Sport. Keep an eye out for it. There's a huge game on Sunday though, not an international one. There's a massive game in Segunda. I mean, earth-shattering game of football here. Big derby. Real Oviedo, vamos. They're playing their most hated rivals in Sporting Gijón. Now, the significance of this is not just because it's a big derby. So basically, like, it's Liverpool, Everton. Well, not city rivals, but it's like
close enough. It's big.
What, like United, Liverpool, something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
not cities, but like, you know, they just don't like each other.
Yeah. The regions that really, really, really hate each other.
Yeah.
Like Sheffield United and Leeds on Saturday was there.
Yorkshire.
So Oviedo are sitting on 8th at the minute. They're 47 points. A win and 2 results go their way, they'll end up in 6th in the league, which is massive, back in the playoff spots. Sporting Gijón are behind them there in 42 points. So not only would a win, plus it's away, it's in Gijón, so which is winning at, you know, you want a league title. Well, you didn't personally, but Arsenal won a league title at White Hart Lane. So you know what it's like to win a derby against your biggest rivals, right? At their ground. So even just winning a derby at their ground, it always feels sweeter. I always say beating Manchester United or Everton at their ground is better than winning at home.
Winning the league at Old Trafford was nice too.
I remember that day actually, and Will Torch jumped. So they could not only can they win a derby, gain better more momentum because it's a massive win against Gymnastic 2-0 on Saturday there, or Sunday morning, sorry. They can also completely more or less chin Sporting Gijón's chances of playoffs.
They're in a good run of form.
Yeah, they had a wee bit of a dip now. They drew with Albacete, but then they were playing and they drew with Lugo, and Real Mallorca beat them 1-0, but Mallorca are flying.
Yeah.
And that was sort of expected. It was away as well. Nobody expect them to get a result there, but they bounced back, and they're still within touching distance of the playoffs. Oviedo over the past couple of years have had a history of just constantly. He said the history of the Oviedo stalling. This is when Giorgio Chiellini came out there, stalling in the last couple of weeks and getting wrecked before the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So fingers crossed they can really make a push on. There is international football this week as well. Will you be watching any of it, Jonathan?
I might watch the Northern Ireland games. To be honest, I actually read a tweet from a guy that I'm quite friendly with. We go over to Arsenal games, and he tweeted up saying you should support a smaller country because you really enjoy international like a lot more. Like he goes to all Northern Ireland home games and just loves it. It's a great day out for him. You know what? And he's probably right. You know, the fact is over in England it's probably harder for them to support the national team because there's so many players from teams that they do not like. Like you get I think all the lower league sporting fans that will go to the games because they don't really care about if Harry Kane's playing or whoever. So I kind of thought that's actually quite right. I suppose if you support in Northern Ireland over here, it's a lot different because the atmosphere up at Windsor Park is bouncing and it's great.
Yeah.
But I definitely can see his point, and fair enough.
I'm going to the game on Sunday night against Belarus, so you'll all be here holding fort, which is frightening. I'm missing the game tonight. I was going to go tonight, but I'm not at it. The Renshaws, my best mates, my brothers, they go to all the games, and Andrew's away tonight, and I've been to a few with them, and the atmosphere at Windsor Park's got much better than what it used to be years ago, and it is a good day out.
Yeah.
And it's supporting your country, I suppose, in an international game or supporting a country that you want to support.
The stadiums, it looks unbelievable now.
Yeah, it does when it's packed. Windsor Park is good crack.
Even the outside of it now, it just looks like a proper football stadium.
Yeah, 100%. The Republic of Ireland also, they played Gibraltar. I think is that Saturday? Sure. I think it's Saturday they're playing Gibraltar. They have a tough group too, obviously with Denmark and Switzerland. Big mix back as well. Trying to fire the boys up. So that'll be interesting. I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. I follow both teams with a bit of interest and want to see both teams do well. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. As international week as a whole, I don't really enjoy it.
No. As far as I'm aware, two Arsenal players have really got injured on international duty. So
who was this?
Aaron Ramsey's injured. But apparently it's not long term. He'll be back in a week or so, probably less. He might make the next game for Wales. And then Socrates got injured for Greece.
Oh no!
He got injured in training, but I think he will be okay as well by the time Arsenal's next game comes around. Who flew out to Dubai earlier today
to play a friendly?
The actual Arsenal team. So to Dubai to play a friendly. So against I can't remember. I know Negredo plays for them.
Oh right, okay.
Just found that out today.
Don't know who that is.
Do you remember Negredo?
I know who Negredo is. I don't know what team it is.
Oh, sorry, the team. No, I can't. It was too hard to pronounce.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, there you go.
I think that'll do us for the Thursday night show.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Producer Matthew and his big cold. Thanks for coming along. He doesn't say much, does he?
Well, when did the cameraman ever say?
No. Well, that's probably a good thing he doesn't say anything because then you just hear him over the top of us. But thanks for watching, and thanks for getting involved on social media as well this week. There'll be more coming out because Brent loves it.
Yeah.
He loves now
The big social media man now.
He's just the big social media head. That's all he is. And as usual, tell all your friends that what about the show. Subscribe to it on your podcast app, and come and join us on our Twitter and our Facebook for a bit of crack.
And send us in questions.
If
you don't agree with us, tell us.
Big time. If you don't agree with anything Johnny says, let us know. Alright? Good luck. See you again.